Hi, welcome to ecopenny, where we're saving the earth one tip at a time. Dehydrating food is really good. It's great for camping and good for preserving food if you've got excess produce. Watch on to see how to dehydrate food. So the first step's to chop up the tomatoes and lay them on the dehydration trays. I've got this anti-stick material which stops them from falling down the little gaps in the tray. So these dehydrator sheets don't come with the dehydrator. I got these separately on eBay. They're just a thin plastic non-stick sheeting. So I had to cut it to a circular shape to fit in the dehydrator tray. So if you've got liquidy stuff like curries to dehydrate or anything that's a bit sloppy, it stops it dripping through the trays, the holes that are in the trays. Definitely worth it. But they're washable, reusable, sort of anti-stick plastic. I want the pieces to be fairly small, not too big. Down like this. And just lay them on the tray so they're not touching each other. So these will be used for camping, for lunches, to put on crackers, but it's also a good way of preserving. If you've got excess fruit, you can dehydrate it. So these will go a lot smaller once all the water's evaporated out of them. This dehydrator can fit 5 trays. You can do 5 lots of things, which is quite convenient. It's one tray done here. You don't want too many on there, you want room for air to spread around. So the dehydrator is a Lumina brand from Aldi. I'm not endorsed by Aldi or anything, I just happened to buy mine there. So that's the base unit with the heater in it. I ended up with 3 trays of tomatoes, so you can have 1 to 5 on this particular one. So you just stack them on top of each other. This particular one you can also stack them if you have these little legs matching up with that step, so there's a bit more air in it, or you can have them closer together like that. Pop the lid on there, turn it on. So this one's got your controls for your time and your temperature, so I'm going to set this for 15 hours. And then set the temperature to 70 degrees C, hit the start button and let it go. So that will turn off automatically after it's finished, after the 15 hours. It's useful after a few hours to put the bottom one on the top and the top one on the bottom, because the bottom ones will dehydrate a bit faster because that's where the heat comes through. So it's good to vary them a little bit. And just check it once the tomatoes are quite dry and not juicy at all, then it's time to package them. I'll put them in either a plastic bag that's reusable or a container and leave it in the freezer until you're ready to use it. It just preserves them a bit longer. And don't forget to wash your hands before doing this step as well. So about halfway through, whenever you can, just pause the dehydrator and just turn the partially dehydrated things over, just to get the other side drying a bit better. So you can see some of these are almost done, but a lot of them are still a bit soft and floppy, so you need them to be harder. Then just pop it back in. So these have been in for about 8 hours now, so you need another 5 hours at least. It's anti-stick stuff in on the tray. It's really good at They really don't stick that much to it. This one's almost done. It's sort of dry and crispy. But most of them still need quite a few hours. So the tomatoes are done now. They're all dried up. So I'll put them in a Ziploc bag and then put this bag in the freezer. And that can be stored for a month or two. It just comes off the non-stick surface. So once this is used up, this bag can be washed and dried, and this anti-stick mat can be washed in normal washing up liquid and dried as well. Nice batch of tomatoes there. So I'll have that with cheese and dried cucumbers and crackers for camping. I've got my 2 servings of veggie chilli here on the one plate. I've just cut that up with a knife and fork just to make sure there's no big lumps of capsicum or anything. Then I'm just going to spread this on 2 layers in the dehydrator. So I've got the anti-stick mat in there as well. If it was just like that, everything would drip through the holes here. So I got that mat in there. So I'm just going to spoon the veggie chilli onto this in a layer. Try and keep it as thin as possible. So just spoon it on, but try and keep it in a thin layer, about 1 centimetre high. This is a nice recipe out of Jamie Oliver's 15-minute book. Nice and healthy. Chickpeas, black beans, a bit of chilli, spices, a bit of passata, a bit of capsicum. It's beautiful. That's the second layer done there. So it's nice and evenly spread. I've chosen a vegetarian dish just to make it a bit safer. When it's dehydrated, it's less likely to go off if it's vegetarian. The next 2 layers will be the rice. It seems counterintuitive, but I've actually cooked the rice. And then I'm going to dehydrate it to make it dry again. But it actually rehydrates better if you've cooked it first. It sounds weird to have dry rice. Cook it to make it wet, make it dry again, and then cook it again. But yeah, it rehydrates better if you've already cooked it and then dehydrated. So I've got my 2 layers of veggie chilli and 2 layers of rice ready in the dehydrator. Rice is on the top layers because it's a bit drier to begin with. The sloppier foods are at the bottom. There's more heat at the bottom. So I'm going to put it on for 15 hours at 70 degrees Celsius. Let's see how that goes. After a few hours, it's a good idea just to swap these 2 around and these 2 around, just to distribute the heat. This is about after 10 hours, so they're almost done. Wash your hands and just rearrange everything and just crumble it up a bit. Same with the veggie chilli. This is almost done, but just unstick it and just move it around, and I'll put it in for another 4 to 5 hours. Just going to put it on for another 5 hours. And I've just reversed the trays, so I've flipped these 2 and flipped the 2 rice ones, so the other one's going to have a chance to go at the bottom. Don't forget to wash your hands before you handle all this too. So that's the finished product. I've got my veggie chilli and the rice. So I'm going to put the rice in a Ziploc bag and then put that and the veggie chilli part in one of these Multix microwave bags. So these are handy because when I'm at the campsite, all I've got to do is get the rice, pour it into this bag out of its little Ziploc bag, add 1 cup of boiling water, and then just leave that soaking like that for 20 minutes, and the dinner will be ready. It cooks in the bag. And these microwave ones can take the boiling water, and they are washable. The reason why I put the rice in a separate Ziploc bag and then put it in there, it can be a little bit sharp. So if you put it straight into this bag, it might rip a little hole in it, which might make it contaminated. So I'll just get to work doing all this. And once you've got your dehydrated meal, you can leave that in the freezer for quite a while until you need it for camping. So this was done for about 15 hours. When it's finished, it should have a dry, sort of flaky sort of texture. It shouldn't be soft or moist. It should be dry and flaky. Same with the rice. It should be dry and sort of flaky. There you have it. There's the rice in a separate Ziploc bag in the steam bag with the veggie chilli in the bottom. Weighs in it about 150 grams, 155 grams, which is pretty good. 153, yeah, which is pretty good for a camping meal. So the reason the rice is in a separate Ziploc bag, it can be a bit sharp, so sometimes the rice can puncture this main bag. So when you're at the campsite ready for dinner, take the rice bag out, pour the rice into this main bag, add 250 millilitres or a quarter of a litre or 1 cup of boiling water, leave it for 20 minutes. I put this bag in a silver insulated bag as well to keep the heat in. And then you've got your camping meal at the campsite. All you've got to do is boil water, add it, wait 20 minutes, and there's your dinner. Got another batch of food to dehydrate. This time it's a sweet potato and eggplant Thai curry. And I've got the rice there done. So as I said before, I find white rice is better for dehydrating. Normally I'd have brown rice, but if it's for dehydrating, I do the white rice. It sort of comes out better when you rehydrate it. So I've got to get the dehydrator out again. Let's get dehydrating. Just cutting a few of the bigger eggplants up. You want things to be about 1 centimetre cubed, not bigger than that, because they won't dehydrate properly. So just the bigger ones I'm cutting up into 2. So same as the veggie chilli before, just want to spoon it out onto the tray, and I've got that anti-stick mat in there to stop the food falling down. I want to put a bit of the sauce on the tray, but not all of it, because otherwise it'll just run everywhere. So there's 2 trays. This will be 2 meals. So there's 1 tray there, another tray there. So same as before, the curry, because it's wetter, goes on the bottom. So that's the first 2 trays of curry done. So make sure your hands are washed for this one. So you just want to spread the rice out onto the tray. So you want an even layer that's not too deep, about 1 centimetre high if possible. Here's our 2 layers of rice done. So the rice is dry, so it goes at the top. So 2 layers of curry there and 2 layers of rice, so that'll make 2 meals. So I'll put it on for 15 hours at 70 degrees Celsius and leave it running. So it's the next morning, it's almost done. So what I've done is just moved things around, again making sure your hands are washed. Move everything around a bit to help it dehydrate fully. And I've switched the 2 trays around. So this one was above, now it's below. I'll put the next one on. So this one was on the very bottom, now I've put it up to the 2nd level. So I've just moved all the things around. Same thing with the rice. This one was on the very top, now it's 2nd last. And I've just moved the rice around a bit to help it dehydrate fully, so it's a few little sections, but the majority of it's getting there. So I'll leave it for another about 5 hours. It should be done. I've just dropped the temperature down to 60 degrees instead of 70 degrees for this last bit because it's almost done. So dehydration's finished now. Make sure your hands are washed. Everything's all dry and flaky. It's ready to put into the bags. So the rice is done. It's all crispy and dry. So same as a veggie chilli, I put the rice in a Ziploc bag first and then put that bag in with the rest of the curry. Just the rice can be a bit sharp. You don't want it puncturing the bag there, otherwise if you put boiling water in it's not going to be fun. So I've got the rice in the Ziploc bag in the big bag of the curry. It weighs in 153 grams, which is pretty good. So same as veggie chilli at the campsite, take the rice out, pour it out of the Ziploc bag into the main bag and add a quarter of a litre, 250 mils or 1 cup of boiling water in the bag and then leave it soaking for 20 minutes. And there you have it, sweet potato and eggplant curry for camping. It's better to keep your camping dinners in the freezer so they'll keep a bit better there. Next up we're going to be dehydrating some apples. Make sure you've washed your hands and you've washed the apples. You need to paint some lemon juice on the apples, stop them going brown while they're getting dehydrated. So we can just juice the lemon, cut it in half, give it a good squeeze and get all that juice out of it. Make sure you put the peels in the green bin or your compost if you have compost. There's our lemon juice. Use a cooking paintbrush. So I've got that ready to use. Next thing, we're going to slice the apples. So you can slice it in half. I want to basically make a segment about 1 centimetre thick, so not too big. I basically lay them on the tray and just give them a bit of a paint over with the lemon juice. There you go, so that's 2 apples with lemon juice on for a tray. So I'm going to do another one of these, another 2 apples. So another thing, if you're dehydrating food, always think, what can I dehydrate at the same time? So whilst the machine's on, you can have multiple layers doing different things instead of having just one tray on the dehydrator and that's it. So you have it's another tray of 2 apples, so it's 4 apples in total. There's a nice cucumber grown in my veggie garden, so we're going to do some cucumber now. So I'm going to slice that. I'm going to keep the skin on. You want to slice cucumber approaching 1 centimetre thick because it does shrivel up a fair amount on the dehydrator. So this doesn't need lemon, just the apples and then the other fruits like apricots or anything like that can do with a bit of lemon on them. So about 1 centimetre thick and in half like that, depends how big your cucumber is. So I still like to use these non-stick mats even if it's a solid thing like cucumber. I just find it stops them sticking to the tray if you have the tray just by itself. So there's a tray of cucumbers ready to go. These are a bit wetter, so I'm going to put them at the bottom and then put the apples on top of them. Got some lovely strawberries here ready to go, so I've just washed those. So you want them in pieces about 1/2 centimetre thick. There's one tray of strawberries ready to go. There's tray number 2 of strawberries ready. Ready for the dehydrator now. So the first layer's got the cucumber. That's the most watery thing. Next thing's the apple. That's layer 1. Layer 2. And then our 2 layers of strawberries. So we've got cucumber, apple, apple, strawberry, strawberry. Don't forget the lid. So I'm going to put this on for 15 hours at 70 degrees Celsius and leave it running. So it's the next morning. I've just rearranged things. The cucumbers are almost dry, so I put them to the very top. And I've just rearranged everything, turned it the other way up. And the bottom apple tray, I've switched those 2 around. So the bottom is number 2 and the number 2 is at the bottom. And I've switched the 2 strawberry trays as well. So apples are almost there. So I'm going to leave it for another 5 hours. So here's the finished results. That's a cucumber, it's nice and dry. Apple shrunk and nice and dry as well. Same with the strawberries. So they're ready to be bagged up. You can store them in the freezer, or if you're going to use them soon, just leave them in the bag ready to use.